everybody, buddy, Deb here, and today we're going to continue to talk about heaven. Why are we talking about this? Because I want to know where the doctrine came from that when we die, we go to heaven. I want to know all that there is to know about heaven. So far, I haven't seen any cherubs, any scriptures that talk about cherubs playing harps in heaven, and nor have I read any scriptures that talk about people sitting on clouds playing harps in heaven. So that's good, right? But we have seen a lot about Yahuwah being in heaven. That is our deity, our God. And so we're going to continue to look into this today. Okay, so our first scripture is 2 Kings 2, verse 11. And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire, and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. So Elijah went up into heavens in a whirlwind. I think that is pretty fantastic, and that tells us quite a bit about heaven and something that could happen to us. I think that we would have to really walk tight with Yahuwah for that to be able to happen to us. Most of us probably do not. All right. And then we're going to read in Nehemiah. Sorry about the styrofoam cup. I hate styrofoam, but I did have to go out to eat on Friday. And we went to Whataburger and I got a styrofoam cup. And so I like to use it for a few days. Get some use out of it if I have to throw it away, because I hate all the trash. We are seriously abusing the earth. All right, so this is Nehemiah 9:6, and let me see if I can put that in the frame so everybody can find it. No, of course. Come on, mouse. All right, Nehemiah 9:6. You alone are Yahuwah. You made the heavens, even the highest heavens, and all their starry host, the earth and all that is on it, the seas and all that is in them. You give life to everything, and the multitudes of heaven worship you. So I love this particular verse because it talks about their starry host, and then it also says that the multitudes of heaven worship you. So to me, that's right along the lines that I have talked about several times, that the stars are angels, angels are stars. That doesn't mean that that's the only kind of angels there are, so don't be climbing down my case. But anyway, the multitudes of heaven worship Yahuwah. Woo! So if the multitudes of heaven worship you, then you know who you is because it was talking about Yahuwah. And you know who the multitudes are because you just have to go back and see the starry host in that same sentence, in that same verse. So the stars, what do? They worship Yahuwah. That's pretty cool. So this is all stuff that happens in the heavens. Okay, now we're going to go to Job 1:6. And actually, I think I'm supposed to be in Job 1:16. But I do want to look at this scripture because it's interesting. One day the angels came to present themselves before Yahuwah, and Satan also came with them. So we know that it's like a court. You can see heavenly court. So there is a court in the heavens. Okay, here's where I meant to be. In Job 1:16. While he was still speaking, another messenger came and said, the fire of God fell from the heavens and burned up the sheep and the servants, and I am the only one who has escaped to tell you. So we learn in that scripture that fire from heaven can consume animals and sheep. That's not a very fun verse. But you know what? I'm not here to lie to you or to sugarcoat things. I'm here to find out all that there is to find out about heaven. And I want to take you along on the ride. Sometimes it's a wild ride when you follow Yahuwah. Sometimes it's not just a soft teddy bear thing. Actually, a lot of times. So, all right, Job 16:19. Even now my witness is in heaven, my advocate is on high. And I want to go to the next verse. My intercessor is my friend as my eyes pour out tears to Yahuwah. So, even now my witness is in heaven, my advocate is on high. So we have learned in other scriptures that the angels are a witness. There's a cloud of witnesses. So I think that the angels / stars / clouds are a witness. They can witness against us, or they can witness for us, depending on our actions. So we are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses. And that's that should let us know that we can't get away with anything. There's going to be someone watching us at all times. Okay, and actually, this part, even now my witness is in heaven, my advocate is on high. I'm pretty sure that the scriptures talk about Yeshua, Jesus being our advocate. So my intercessor is my friend as my eyes pour out tears to God. That's actually Eloah. There. The name for God there is Eloah. And why do I point that out? Because we need to know all of his real names. His real name is not God. God is not his name. It might be a title that we gave him, but I hate it because it's not his name. The name for God that is just God is Elohim. Why aren't we using it? I don't know. But Eloah is so beautiful, and it is so close to Aloha. Some say that Hawaii is Yahweh spelled backwards, and I think that's pretty cool too. It's probably in a different dialect or form than I am learning in the Paleo-Greek. But I do think that's pretty awesome. So that is Eloah. Super cool. All right, we're going to go on to Job 20:27. Oh, I should have paused it so you wouldn't have to wait. The heavens will expose his guilt. The earth will rise up against him. So again, the heavens will expose his guilt. That says to me that those witnesses in heaven are going to expose us for what we've done wrong. And I'm not looking forward to that. I want to keep the sin out because I don't want to be twisted in the wind when that happens. No, I do not. So Job 22:14. And in this verse, it is Eloah as well. And this particular verse is translated a couple different ways. In the Sefer, it says that Eloah walks the circuit of the heaven. But I really like these other versions. One reason that there's different versions like this is because the Hebrew words often mean several different things. The letters themselves mean several different things. So the words can mean several different things, and you have to take them in context. And sometimes there can be plural meanings. Yahweh could be meaning more than one thing. So the thick clouds veil him, so he does not see us as he goes about in the vaulted heavens. So clearly there are some times that he don't want to look at us. He's probably get too ticked off if he looks at us all the time. The way that we hold on to sins and go after them, etc. So, but I wanted to point out the vaulted heavens. And this New Living translates it, the vault of heaven. So all of you globe earthers out there, you might want to think about that, because that works perfectly with the flat earth theory. And when we say flat earth, we do not mean that it's a pancake flat, but what we are saying is it's not a ball. So it probably has some roundness to it. We all know that there's mountains and valleys, so there could be some roundness to it. But I believe that it is a flat earth and not a ball, and then that there's a dome around it. And this scripture right here would definitely back me up. And there's also, it's also translated the circuit of the heavens. Now, even if you say the circuit of the heavens, that still is a lot different than a ball. So, and if you look at, what is that star app? If you point your camera up into the heavens and you record it, you can clearly see that they're just going like this. That we are not going around and around, but they are going around and around. And the book of Enoch really puts that clearly for us. So Enoch should have never been taken out of the Bible. And Job 26:11. I think that's where we are. Okay. The pillars of heaven quake, aghast at his rebuke. Wow. So when Yahuwah rebukes, it can cause people to be aghast. They shudder. They're astounded. They're amazed. They're astonished at his rebuke. And these are the pillars of heaven. So also, if there are pillars of heaven and a vault of heaven, that would definitely fit the flat earth model, but not so much the globe earth model. So you might want to consider it. Though, if you believe in a globe earth, it is not a salvation issue, and it's not really something that, I think is worth fighting over. It's just, to me, it is extremely comforting to know that we are inside a dome and he is right above us. He says the earth is his footstool. That means that he's watching us all the time, that we are near and dear to his heart. But when you think about the globe earth, and the universe after universe after universe that they have convinced us is real, it takes God and puts him it takes Elohim way, way far away from us, so that he can't hear our prayers and he's not thinking about us, and he just like started us up and let us go. So I totally hate that. And I'm really glad that there are scriptures that have convinced me that we live on a flat earth with a dome, and we are his footstool, and he is watching us, and we've already read several scriptures. You can go back and look at the other videos where he is actually in the heavens and he walks about the heavens. So, I just think that is very, very comforting. I want to know that he's right there and that he hears my prayers. And he's thinking about me. When the scripture says that he knows the number of hairs on our heads, that is a very intimate thing. And I want him to know me intimately like that. I don't want some deity that is way out in some faraway galaxy doing whatever he's doing, but he's not paying attention to me. If he created me and he created me for his good pleasure, then it would not make sense that he is way, way far away. No, he's right here. So, I know that there were some other things I want to talk about, but I've forgotten what they are now. So anyway, I hope that this was a blessing to you. I ask that you would be so kind as to like and or subscribe and share this video with people that you think might be blessed by it. And I had intended to do this video outside in my sukkot for Feast of Tabernacles, but when I went outside, my camera, it just freaked out. All you could see basically was my eyes. It was like a field of white, and you could see my eyes barely. It was like looking at a film negative. Well, you guys use your phones nowadays, but back when I was young, cameras had film in them, and the negatives, you'd get your negatives, strip of negatives along with your pictures when you developed them, and it looked like that. It was like all bright with just a couple of little dark spots. And so I didn't think y'all wanted to just see my eyes in a floating white mass. And I could have just had the scriptures up there, but honestly, when I watch people do videos, I want to see who's talking. I want to look at their facial expressions and figure out if they're the real deal. So that's why I always put myself on here. It's definitely not because I think I'm all that. It's not because I think I'm so attractive you want to see me. No, because I'm old and I've lost a lot of my beauty. So that means it's time for inner beauty, right? Anyway, I hope that y'all celebrated the Feast of Tabernacles. We've got today and tomorrow's the last day. We have found it really, just really peaceful and relaxing when we go out in our sukkot. I hope I'm saying that right. Which means a hastily made shelter. So we want to have a greenhouse in our backyard. So we made, let me see. I'll bring up a picture. All right, so this is our sukkot, and it is some cattle panels that we attach to wood. We're eventually going to put some clear greenhouse plastic around it, and I'm in trouble with my mouse getting stuck. And so we just put a tarp on it. We put some lights in it, and I'll show you what it looks like at night. It's pretty cool. All right, so here's what it looks like at night. And it's my son Jesse and my daughter Sasha. We've been having barbecues every day. One of the things in Leviticus that it says is that you're to have a sacrifice by fire. So in lieu of a sacrifice by fire, we have been doing a barbecue. If you looked at the first picture, we brought the barbecue inside the sukkot, and it's a fire pit that we have made into a barbecue. So anyway, it's a lot of fun, y'all. And it just reminds us, because this is a prophetic feast. This hasn't happened yet. So in the Feast of Tabernacles, it is 8 days, and you dwell in booths, hastily made structures, which this is. So what does that mean for us? When are we going to dwell in booths? Now, the children of Israel did dwell in booths when they came out of the land of Egypt. But, that was not 8 days. So that's why a lot of people say that this feast has not yet been fulfilled. So if not, we've got something to look forward to that we don't know about. We're going to be doing some moving. He does tell us to come out of her, my people. And so maybe there'll be some times where we're dwelling in booths. So I would just like to encourage you to not be hold too tightly to your stuff, because you never know when something's going to happen and you won't have it anymore. It's not supposed to be our God. So anyway, that's all I got to say right now. Again, if you've made it this far, please like and subscribe so that other people hopefully will be blessed by this subject. Have a great day. Bye-bye.